Hey, yo, what it do, crew? Elijah X back with more info. Man, I really hope y'all down there in Florida, I really hope y'all heeded those evacuation warnings because not only they were hoping that Milton was going to go down to Category 3, that didn't happen to be the case. It's still a Category 4, actually right on the cusp of turning it into Category 5. You'll see the wind numbers coming up in this video, but on top of that, there's an outbreak of tornadoes preceding Milton's landfall, its touchdown. So as you're about to see in this video, Florida's already getting pounded in a certain way that is, man, I I pray for all y'all and just check this out. It's crazy talk.
Good day, everyone. We are coming on the air with breaking news about Hurricane Milton, the storm we've been talking about for days. A powerful Category 4 storm as of this moment. It has already started spawning a series of dangerous tornadoes touching down throughout south central Florida. The highest risk for those tornadoes runs through this afternoon. All of that, of course, ahead of the storm, ahead of the hurricane actually coming ashore, which is expected very late this evening or into tomorrow morning. Let's go to Dana Griffin in Naples, Florida. Dana, what do we know about these tornadoes? Have we had any reports yet of where they actually touched down?
So we're trying to get that information to you now. Kate, I can tell you that we were at Naples Beach just moments ago, and our phone started alerting because of the tornado warnings that were going off. We were seeing lightning at the beach. And the reason we were there was because several surfers were still in the water as that storm surge on the beach itself, some 2-foot high.
I'm not going to be too rude, man. But literally, at this point, it's natural selection. If y'all thought it was smart to go and try to ride your last wave, I mean, it's gonna be your last wave, I guess. If y'all thought it was smart, man, I hope y'all got enough time to at least get to a close local shelter or something, because that's just fucking crazy. Y'all are...
Waves were coming through, saw several people who were out there, and so that's why we left and came to a garage so that we could be safe. But we are getting alerts that there have been tornadoes that have touched down, as you mentioned, in south central Florida. We are in Naples, and because we are pretty close to that area, we got those alerts. So we haven't seen any particular funnel clouds or any sort of formations from this vantage point, but we are obviously taking this very seriously, and it is important for people that if you are in an area where you are getting that alert, you should be leaving the area or finding cover, because this is very serious, and this is ahead of Milton. We're already seeing the rain bands in certain parts of Naples. It's stopped for the moment, but this will likely be off and on throughout.
On the map of what part of Florida we're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking in the Fort Myers region right now, Kate, and in fact, this is really part and parcel of Milton, 160 miles southwest of Tampa with 145-mile-per-hour winds, moving northeast at 17. We have tornado watches right now in north of Tampa all the way down to Key West till 9 p.m. But take a look at these areas in red. These are all tornado warnings. In fact, this from my colleague Bill Cairns. There is a particularly dangerous situation warning. Media confirming a large tornado that started over near Fort Myers and heading toward Acadia. So we're watching these systems now starting to develop. As you can see, as this storm is getting closer, usually the northeast quadrant is the most dangerous part of the storm. And as that system is making its way, this is that northeast quadrant. So we have for today this area from Melbourne to Englewood to Fort Myers, Moorhaven, Fort Pierce, all in this area, an EF2 or greater tornado possible. I just want to make sure, see if we didn't get some more information in here. We're, in fact, near Clewiston, Florida, also about an hour ago, they had a wedge tornado on the ground. So this is a very strong developing situation right now, ahead of the hurricane, actually Milton, actually making landfall. We're expecting, again, landfall sometime around late tonight, early tomorrow morning, Kate. But right now, the main concern are these tornadoes that are firing up and will continue right through this evening, Kate.
Al, thank you so much for that. We're looking at video, Al. I don't know if you have a monitor and you can see this, but it's out of Alligator Alley. Can you just give us a sense for what we're looking at? I mean, just from a meteorological...
You saw me circling it. Watch what Al Roker says.
Standpoint, that looks like a tornado to me.
Unfortunately, I don't have a video return feed in this studio, but I'm sure if it is what I'm thinking, it's probably a large wedge right now. And the danger as this system moves in, these storms become rain wrapped. And so they're much harder to see. If we can go to the radar again, Donnie, our meteorologist down that's running this for me, we are looking at more of these storms firing up. And here's the storm surge right now. So not only do we have to worry about the tornadoes, but we've got storm surge 10 to 15 feet, 8 to 12 feet up around Sarasota. High tide is going to be coming in around 6:51 a.m., but it will be rising by the time this thing makes landfall, Kate.
All right, Al, thank you so much. We're looking at a lot of scary-looking video coming in from, obviously, users, people on cell phones taking pictures of dark clouds and even forms that look tornado-like. Let's go to Tom Yamas in Sarasota, Florida. Obviously starting to rain. You're starting to feel those outer bands, Tom. You're not where this you're, I think, just barely in the cone of this tornado threat, but have you seen anything there?
Yeah, I was about 18 floors up about 4 or 5 minutes ago, looking out over the horizon.
I'm gonna try to find the spot that I want you to see from here, because I might just go right back to Al or wrap up his portion. But man, there's so much.
If here anymore, you have to get off the barrier islands because you will not survive that storm surge. But Kate, going back to what you were saying, we cover tornado outbreaks in Tornado Alley and, states in the South and the Midwest as a major news event because they're highly dangerous. To now talk about a tornado outbreak happening here in Florida hours before a potential landfall, it speaks to what type of critical situation we're in here in Florida. And you got to remember, some people waited to the last minute to evacuate. Hopefully those people are out on the roads. We've been locked down where we are right now in Sarasota. We've made the decision to kind of stay put and cover the storm over the next several hours as it rolls in, because at times it can be too dangerous to be out there on the road. So I really hope people that are trying to get out get to where they need to be. We're in a hotel right now, and I got to tell you, about maybe 2 hours ago, I saw a family load up their car and take off. I really hope that they're not going to drive for too far, because like we said, just south of us, you have that tornado outbreak.
Yeah, no, you make a very good point, Tom, that this is historic, right? This is a history-making giant hurricane that is going across the entirety of the state, the central part of the state of Florida, from West Coast to East Coast. Al Roker, let me bring you back in. To that point, the weather unit is saying this is an outbreak, 10 or more tornadoes. Tom was talking about the coastal area, but this is affecting potentially inland areas, too.
Take a look right here, Kate. Again, we have this tornado watch that extends well up along the eastern part of Florida, but all the way down to the Keys. But these areas in red, these are tornado warnings. This is where either they're radar indicated or there have been visual sightings. And again, one of the problems that we talk about with climate change induced storms like this, that these hurricanes now, we've had at least 2 of these hurricanes produce one EF3 tornado, which is unheard of, has not happened before. And now we're looking at this
is what he just saw. Like at the very beginning, when I first had him on the video, he was referring to how that northeastern portion of central Florida or whatever was all prone to that TF2 things. Now he's saying at least 2 of them have the ability to merge into this EF3, which is unheard of, ahead of the hurricane really doing any kind of damage and devastation. We might have an EF3. Man, this is some way beyond biblical text type shit. This is a lot.
Outbreak happening, and since we've been on the air, we've seen the increase in tornado warnings coming up, and these are going to continue right on into this evening, because as long as this area is to the northeast of the tornado, should say of the hurricane of Milton. That's where we have the most instability. And because this is such a really dynamic, volatile system, that we're going to be looking at more and more of these tornadoes firing up into this evening, Kate. And again,
Oh man, I'm just I'm not gonna keep y'all long, but man, if y'all know anybody in Florida who did not heed those evacuation warnings, if they are not near these tornadoes that are swarming around like they said, it's 10 potentially more, please tell them to get to a shelter. Even if they don't have a car, I heard that, or Uber is doing free rides to these shelters. So in Starlink, they have all throughout the state of Florida currently. Please, please get to a shelter. Your house is not going to work. It's not going to work. I pray for you guys. Whew, it's going to be a harsh one to check into and keep informing y'all about, because it's a lot. But all love, man. Be blessed and stay so.